guys, welcome back to Tester Tuesdays, where I am going to be reviewing a new foundation for the first time on camera with close-ups, check-ins throughout the day, flash and no flash test at the end of the day, with my final thoughts on how I think the product wears, who I think it might be geared towards, and whether or not I personally like it. So today's foundation is going to be the new, it's not new, today's foundation I'm testing out is the Prairie Cellular Treatment Foundation. This is a solid powder, pressed powder foundation, and I'm in the shade Rose Beige. This is gorgeous packaging. However, I've already got fingerprints all over it, and my hands are pretty clean right now. I think my fingerprints leave marks on everything, but this one specifically. Very, very expensive pressed powder. It can be used as a powder foundation, or you can use it as a touch-up powder or setting powder. This is $95 and you get 14.2 grams or 0.5 ounces, so half of a typical foundation in liquid form. So, I mean, I think you don't need as much powder typically because it is like a medium to full coverage, super buildable from what this says. If you're interested to see how this foundation applies, how it wears throughout the day with my ultra unforgiving vlog camera, which I will have linked in my frequently asked questions page. I get a lot of questions about which camera and equipment I'm using. All of that is linked in my frequently asked questions page, as well as with my foundation shades of other foundations I've tried or worn or that are popular in that section. So if you guys have any questions about that stuff, it is always listed in that page on my blog, which is linked in the description box. So let's move in to the review. Beige, I ordered this through Nordstrom because you get eBates. I like using my eBates whenever possible. I actually like reading these little things because sometimes it says, for a light to medium coverage, use the sponge on dry to even out skin tone for soft matte finish. For full coverage, dampen the sponge and squeeze out excess water. Apply over moisturized skin with light strokes until desired coverage is achieved. Note, to clean the sponge, use mild soap and warm water. Air dry before returning to compact. So yeah, you can use this wet or dry. I think I'm just gonna use it dry. I don't really like using powders wet. And I'm gonna prep this side of my face. It's gonna be super hot today, so I'm using my mattifying primer from 100% Pure. One pump on the, we'll do right side of my face. And then no primer on the left. So it's gonna be in the hundreds. 107 is what they say. Because it is a powder foundation, I'm gonna go in with my concealer first for under my eyes, because I am using the Tarte Shape Tape, which I reviewed in my Makeup Bag Monday series, if you're curious. And I do believe it is back in stock online. I could be wrong. It's what I have been hearing. I haven't checked just yet. But you can also get this on Tarte.com when it's back in stock on there as well. So I'm just mixing light and medium. I'm gonna spray my beauty blender a little bit, just because I'm lazy and don't want to walk to the sink. I'm blending that in. I'm only concealing my under eyes. I haven't done anything else on my face because I do want to see the coverage. This has a little velvet pouch. I hate these things. I typically just throw them away or leave them in a giant pile because I feel like I paid for it, so I can't throw it away, and then it just becomes a pile of little velvet pouches. I have this compact. I just pulled it out and it's got fingerprints already because I have like makeup on my hands. But this is gorgeous. It's very lightweight though, which is nice if you're gonna carry this with you. And it has a really nice size mirror. And yeah, so I'm gonna take this little thing off and use the sponge to apply on the right side of my face. This is natural light using my vlog camera. Color match is pretty good. Coverage is really good. Wow. And fast. Like, I'm just building product up right now. Okay. So that's just one layer dry. Pretty impressed with this coverage and how quick it is. The color match is almost perfect. This looks really nice. It's like a natural mattifying look. It's not super powdery looking. So I'm gonna use this side. You know what? I'm just gonna use a damp beauty blender. Screw it, let's try it damp. I feel like using the sponge damp, you definitely get more coverage. It looks really good in person though. I really like this. I'm gonna go back in with this sponge and go over it because I feel like this sponge is just smoother. I really like it. If you use the damp beauty blender, don't get it too wet. Just slightly dampen it and you'll get more coverage. It doesn't feel super drying. It's not looking like dry or powdery, but it does look like a matte finish right now. So we'll see how it looks with the rest of my makeup. But so far I'm impressed with the coverage. Excuse me. So far, I'm impressed with the coverage. I'm impressed with how it looks, and the color match is phenomenal. So I will be back with the rest of my makeup and check-ins throughout the day with my final thoughts at the end of the day. I have the rest of my makeup on. This is natural light, and it is, what time is it?
12:45.
It is 12:45 right now. I think it looks really nice and natural, but like still covered. And it looks really nice with my bronzer, which is rare because for whatever reason, I have really bad dry patches here and it takes forever to blend. And even when I blend a lot, it like doesn't work. So I'm really impressed with how it is looking. And I do have to say that your pores are gonna show a little bit more with this powder because you can see my pores a lot more than other foundations, I feel like. But so far it's good. I've had this on for an hour. I put it on at 12. You said it's 1?
It's, yeah, almost 1.
It's almost 1. So I've had it on for about an hour. It's settled in. And I will do a few more check-ins. Hey guys, it's 4 p.m.-ish, so it's exactly 4:01. So I've had this on for 4 hours, and I have to say, it looks freaking awesome. It just looks better as time goes. I feel like my natural oils that tend to like want to come out around this time is making the product look more natural, more fluid, less powdery, but it just looks really nice and it's full coverage. I feel like in this light, in natural sunlight and afternoon light, looks really good, really smooth, really full coverage. I'm really impressed with how my cheek products mixed with the powder foundation and kind of love it. Yeah, you can still see my pores here though, although we're using like super ultra HD. You probably can't see this in real life. I just love this glow too. This isn't even my highlight, this is just the powder. So good. Damn it, it's like $95. It's 6:17. I'm incredibly grumpy because I haven't had anything to eat today. So we're headed to dinner. I've had the foundation on for 6 hours and 15 minutes and I really like it. Doesn't it look good?
Mm-hmm.
I did touch my nose a lot here, but I think it looks good. Do I look shiny?
No.
You're such a nerd. I am not up for any fun today.
No shenanigans for you.
Okay, we're gonna go to dinner. I'll check in after dinner. Hey guys, I am back. It is now 10 p.m. in the evening, so I've had this foundation on for 10 hours. I really love the finish of this foundation. I think it actually looks better as you wear it throughout the day. And then obviously we're going on like 8, 9, 10 hours is when the oils are really coming through. And I do have combination oily and dry skin. What I love about this powder foundation is that it looks really beautiful on my dry areas. It's very hard to find a good full coverage powder foundation that I can build up and not look super powdery or cakey on my dry areas. So I would really recommend checking this out if you have more of a dry, flakier skin, but you want a quick powder foundation for every day or for a quick like get up and go kind of a look, because I definitely think this would be a good option. The packaging is stunning, but I do have a complaint because even though it's so gorgeous, it gets very fingerprinty very quickly. I just washed my hands and I just like polished this, and it's still very like foggy and fingerprinty, and that just kind of bothers me with packaging. So I personally prefer when my fingerprints don't show as easily. It's stunning packaging. It's just personal preference. I don't like to see my fingerprints, and especially when you're working with product, you can see fingerprints on things very easily. The mirror is a really nice size mirror. I do think you're getting a decent amount of product, not a lot. You're getting 0.5 fluid ounces, but this is more than the Hourglass Vanish foundation. So you're getting more product in terms of that. Also, if you're using this very gently and just doing like a setting look or a touch-up powder, you're going to have this last you a lot longer than if you're building it up like I did today. The sponge applicator is surprisingly very nice. I found that it was really easy to use with this, wet or dry. I prefer to spray this sponge or use a damp beauty blender by spraying it versus actually getting it super wet, because you don't necessarily want to get this powder super wet. You want the powder to stay as dry and fresh as possible. So when you're using it wet, that's my kind of tip, is instead of putting it under the faucet, spray your sponge. Now, I do like that you can wash this sponge with warm water and soap. I do like that it airs it out, so you're not gonna get that mildew scent. And I would actually just keep this little plastic in here to keep everything kind of sanitary and bacteria free as much as possible. This is kind of useless, this little pouch, but because it's so fingerprinty, I do kind of like keeping it in this for if I'm gonna throw it in my makeup bag or in my dresser drawer. I think the powder is worth $100. No, it's a $95 powder. It's very expensive. If you like luxury items and you like to spend a little bit more money on your powders and your skincare and your makeup, then yes, go ahead, splurge. There's nothing wrong with that. Do what you want to do with your money. Do I think you have to have this? Absolutely not. I think that the IT Cosmetics CC Plus is a great full coverage, buildable, natural finish powder foundation as well that works well with dry and oily skin. I also really love the Celebration foundation from IT Cosmetics. That one does not have SPF like the CC Plus powder does. IT Cosmetics makes a great powder foundation with the Celebration Illumination or Celebration Original that has no SPF, which reminds me a lot of the La Prairie one that I'm testing out today, at a fraction of the cost. The CC Plus gives you the same finish, but it adds a little bit protection with the SPF 50. It's a physical SPF, so it's really in terms of personal preference and what you would like in your powder foundation or your powder touch-up. I do love it. I am going to keep it. I will continue to play with it and use it and see how I can make it work for me, because I do feel like it looks beautiful on the skin. I feel like it lasted a really long time. It was a really easy application, really fast to use. I prefer it with the side with primer. I think it looks a little bit better, a little bit longer. I did use my 100% pure primer. It's a mattifying primer. It was very hot today. It was in the hundreds where I live, so I was warm throughout the day. I was sweating. I have been active. I did leave the house and come back, and it held up in this heat. It held up in this dry weather. It held up in my oily areas. It held up in my dry patches. I think it looks really beautiful, really smooth. I do think it's a little bit smoother than the IT Cosmetics powders, but again, if you want something similar at a more affordable cost, try the IT Cosmetics Celebration foundations. I do like it though. I do like it. It is a hit for me. I don't think you ever have to spend this much money on a product in terms of makeup, but if you want to, if you like to splurge on yourself and this is something you're looking into, I really recommend it. I think it's a great product. I think it was really beautiful. It looks good. I feel good wearing it. It doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't feel heavy. I really like it. So I'm very impressed with it, and I have nothing but good things to say about it other than the price tag. But again, we're talking about La Prairie. It's a more expensive brand, and I give you a couple options that you could probably try out instead. Let me know what your favorite powder foundation is. I also really like the NARS one. The NARS came out with a powder foundation a few years ago, and I really liked it. I don't have it currently in my collection, but that's also a really nice one to test out that you can use wet and dry if you're looking for something like that. I personally prefer this dry. I think it works beautifully dry. And yeah, so if you have any product suggestions you'd like me to do a Tester Tuesday on, or if you have any products you think that I would enjoy, please let me know in the comment section. I love seeing you guys communicate with each other and helping each other and helping each other out in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. There's a bunch of different ways you can subscribe. I upload new videos every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. That's 5 uploads a week. Sundays with Serein, Makeup Bag Mondays, Tester Tuesdays, Love It or Leave It Wednesdays. Thursdays is kind of just like a wild card. So I hope you guys come back for Wednesday, which is Love It or Leave It, and it's gonna be the Kylie Jenner birthday collection. Is it worth the $200 I spent to buy her full birthday collection? I don't know. Check back tomorrow. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope my video brought a little bit of cheer. I hope it helped motivated and inspired you to look and feel your best from the outside in. That's why I started my channel. I wanted to build a community where we could all just talk about makeup and have some fun and de-stress from our day. If my videos were able to do that for you today, then that makes me very, very happy, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye.